Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Student Spin podcast. Today is Wednesday, August the 19th, 2020, and I would like to remind everybody that any opinions expressed here are not necessarily those of our sister production, the 6 Mile Post. I am Austin Williams, and are joined once again by my great co-host, Kimberly and Sarah.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
So have either of you started classes yet? And if so, how are you guys doing so far?
I have. Mine are fully online, so they opened up this past Saturday. I've looked at all of the syllabus and the kind of assignments that are due the next couple of weeks, but I have not actually started any work yet because I am a notorious procrastinator. So don't follow my example, anyone.
I started classes Monday. All of mine are online except for statistics. It's a hybrid class. I'll go one day a week. This morning was my morning to go into class. Had to wear a mask on campus. Wasn't too bad. I like my professor, Dr. Davis. She's really a good teacher, it seems like. It seems so far, as far as I could tell in the class, I was the only one that had read the syllabus and was ahead and taken notes and done some schoolwork. So, but that's just how I am anyway. I already had all the vocabulary done and all that kind of stuff. So, and I've done most of the assignments that are due this week for my other classes. But my personal goal, since everything is online and it's kind of do it at your own pace, is to have everything done so that I'm only having to take exams by probably mid to late September. So work super hard, get that knocked out.
Yeah, I started mine pretty much on Saturday when everything came out. It's my first time doing everything online, so a lot of it seems intimidating because I do a lot of stuff face-to-face. It's just so much easier to me. But I took 2 last semester, but hopefully this will be okay. I feel comfortable now. Like when I first got into it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so intimidating because it's just a lot of reading, a lot of stuff you have to do on your own. Because I like motivation. But I'll be able to motivate myself. I'm ready to get this started, and hopefully we'll have a great semester. So, powerful school news. Remember that the drop add period to adjust your fall 2020 schedule ends Wednesday, August the 19th at 5 p.m., which is today. So make sure you guys get that finished if you want to adjust your schedule at all. Georgia Highlands is offering a student service virtual hub. The students will be able to connect virtually with specialists in customer service, enrollment management, financial aid, admissions, advising, business office, and student support service, such as counseling and disability service. The virtual hub hours are Monday through Thursday at 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and on Friday, the hours are 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. On Thursday, extended advising services are available from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. And finally, we have our fee payment deadline. The fall payment deadline for the fall 2020 semester is due Monday, August the 24th at 5 p.m. So make sure you have everything secured to make sure you have a great and successful semester. So we're going to start off with the next local news.
All right, so for local news, we have some interesting stuff going on. The Floyd County Sheriff's election results are in, and Dave Robertson beat Burkhalter. So that's going to be pretty significant. Burkhalter has been sheriff for as long as I can remember, honestly. So we've got some new blood in there. Hopefully everything will go smoothly with that transition. And then update on schools. I know in Paulding and Gordon high schools, they have closed until September. They have had a lot of confirmed cases of COVID-19, and so they have chosen to shut down. Here in Floyd County, we are still going face-to-face. They send us weekly stats via text with a link that tells us, if there are any cases, how many cases, stuff like that. So they're on it. But I also heard, this is just hearsay, but I was in the office at one of the schools that my kids go to, and they said that they are doing things differently than Paulding did. They do a fogger system, like they do a fogging cleaning or something every day once the kids leave. They have a lot more cleaning procedures, and they do not foresee any massive problems. They've been working all through the summer to try to perfect everything and make sure that they're good to go. And then the Floyd County Schools Superintendent resigned yesterday. So that's kind of a big deal that's going on here in Floyd County. I don't there's no information as to, what happened or why he's resigned so far. But I know a lot of people liked him. I know he was doing a really good job as far as most people were concerned. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out and plays out. And then for some funny local news, we had a power outage yesterday. My power went out yesterday morning. I got a text from one of my daughters that the model high school's power was out, model middle, model elementary, and started looking online. It was a huge, massive power outage. It took hours to restore the power. And all we knew at first was that there had been a fire at a substation. Later in the evening, we found out that the fire at the substation was caused by a fun little squirrel that decided to dive bomb into the substation, catch himself on fire, and start the fire at the substation. So go Floyd County.
Let's give a moment of silence for that poor squirrel. All right, so we got some world news, Sarah.
All right, so the biggest thing, so on August the 13th, Israel and the United Arab Emirates signed a peace treaty. It's called the Abraham Accord. It's one of only 3 Israeli-Arab peace treaties in the Middle East, and the treaty is to help establish normal relations between the 2 countries. And normal relations means like with business, with tourism, so that they're hoping to get direct flights from Israel to the United Arab Emirates. I saw an article today about the BBC mentioned that the United Arab Emirates opening up phone lines and phone connections with Israel. Previously, numbers from Israel were blocked. So that's just good to see. A lot of people around the world are just very hopeful about that, about just peace in the Middle East, hoping that other nations will follow suit. There are some nations, Iran and Turkey, that have denounced it. So hopefully, though, that means more peace in the Middle East, which I know is something that is really good for the whole world. It just seems to affect a lot of things. So in Australia, the Australian government has announced that they will provide free coronavirus vaccines for all 25 million Australians. They may even require immunization for visitors to Australia. That's kind of early on since we don't have vaccines yet. So it will be interesting to see if that becomes like a requirement for visits to Australia. And an interesting news story from Chile. A single mother during the height of the pandemic lost her job. She was a school teacher, and she had realized she had an abundance of honey, like natural, organic, raw honey. And so she decided to do a play on words and use the image of Mel Gibson, because honey in Spanish is very close to Mel. It's M-I-E-L. But she has been threatened with a lawsuit from representatives of Mel Gibson. In the end, it sounds like it's not as horrible as it sounds. They just want to make sure the lady is using the proper channels, I guess, to make sure she has the rights to use that. They reached an agreement saying that she could still use the name, the play on his name, but not an actual image. But I just thought that was an interesting story via the New York Times.
All right, so I guess we're going to move on to some good news. I guess I'll start off with my story. So Mackenzie Scott, who has recently divorced Jeff Bezos, has given $1.7 billion to nonprofits since her divorce. This comes from the goodnewsnetwork.org. Mackenzie Scott signed the Giving Up Pledge and promised to give away her billions until the safe is empty, as she quoted. And since she has split from the most wealthiest man in the world and the owner of the Amazon, she has received $38 billion as part of her divorce settlement.
Wow.
Yeah, I wish I could have like 1% of that and I'd be set for life.
I would take 0.2%. 0.2.
Yeah, I know, but thankfully she is using it for a really good cause, because
Yes.
I think it was some absurd number. He makes like thousands of dollars a second, but thankfully she is doing amazing things with that money. So who else has got some good news for us?
I have kind of an old news story from CNN. I also originally found it on the Good News Network and then wanted to look further into it. And it's a story, I think, from 2015, but it's still kind of cool. It's something we don't normally hear about. So in Nigeria, a radio host created solar-powered fridges. They're called cold hubs. And it's really helping with cutting down on food waste for farmers, and agriculture is the largest employer in Nigeria, with 2/3 of the country being employed through agriculture. So those cold hubs, since Nigeria is not, powered through electricity, a lot of the areas don't have that, solar powered fridges. I thought that was just really creative, and I love hearing stories about entrepreneurs, how they see a need and they find something creative to figure that need out. So that was just a cool story, an old one, but one I thought we could all enjoy.
So I have a good news story, and it has to do with TikTok, actually. So there is a girl named Priscilla Block. She has been in Nashville for 6 years working on being a musician, establishing her name, playing at local bars and things like that, what you normally do in Nashville. So she went on TikTok, she gained followers, she's really good. She wrote this original song. Her followers raised enough money for her in 24 or 48 hours to go and record the song and release it on all platforms. So she did that, and she released it she was very smart about it. She released it on a Wednesday on all platforms, and it hit the #1 spot. It was #1 for all genres on, I believe, Amazon and Apple, and possibly for Spotify. And that's unheard of, especially if you're releasing by yourself, not with a recording company. But her name is Priscilla Block. She's on TikTok. You can go check her out. You can check out her song on Spotify. It's a really good song. And then I guess that leads us on to our movie and TV picks and music. So I guess I'll go ahead and give y'all mine. My music pick right now, I discovered Avenue Beats. If you haven't heard Avenue Beats, they're brand new, and they've got they released something during quarantine called Quarantine Covers, so it's all cover songs, but it's really good. And then they have an original song called F2020. Be forewarned, there are cuss words, so if you have virgin ears and delicate ears, just don't listen to that part. Don't listen to this song, but if you are sick of 2020, this is your it is a vibe, it is a mood. And then as far as a movie pick, Odd Thomas. I am going with Odd Thomas. It's a few years old, but it's one of those that I think got overlooked. It's apocalypse type movie, and it is just a great movie all the way around. So a little quirky.
So with music, basically I've just been listening to Post Malone, like just a good listen for everybody that listens to this has listened to him. So a very popular artist. I love listening to him. Perfect mood for anything, sad, good, happy. Just give him a listen anytime. He's awesome. And then for movies, me and my girlfriend have been watching Twilight since it's free for Amazon Prime. I've never watched them before, and I've always made fun of their acting because there's so many like memes of like Edward like closing his mouth whenever he smells Bella, and it's just like it's funny. I've seen so many memes about it, but actually the movies aren't bad. There's some stuff where it's weird and blocky and it's not my favorite, but honestly I like the characters, I like the story, and I'm going to the Breaking Dawn part 1 and 2, so excited to get into that. So that's all I got. Oh, actually I am going to Mexico at the end of this month. That's good news for me, so I'm happy. It's my first time being out of the
What are you gonna do in Mexico? Sorry.
We're going to a resort somewhere out near Cancun. It was for my basically my senior trip, basically for high school year back in 2019. But I ended up doing something else. Went to Nebraska for a school trip. So now I'm going to Mexico with my girlfriend and my family. So we're very excited, and yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
Nice.
So my TV pick is called Whose Line Is It Anyway? It's an old one from I think the late 90s, early 2000. HBO Max has that on there, and it's a show that's got comedians. I think there's 4 comedians, and then Drew Carey is the host, and it's all improv. It's hilarious. If you need a good laugh, like just watch that. Their talent is just phenomenal. The fact that they just pull these skits and pull songs out of nowhere is just incredible. So it's called Whose Line Is It Anyway? If you have HBO Max, and if you don't, I'm not sure where else it is. And then I have a new song that I've been listening to. It's by an artist called Woods. It's Woodes, and she is a new artist. She's releasing an album in October, but there's a song called Bonfire, and it's kind of like alternative rock, I guess. It still has that folksy kind of sound I like, but it's really interesting. She's like a really theatrical artist. But yeah, if you have some time, check that out too.
All right. I think that's all the topics in our outline. Just a few closing things. I just got an email. I'm pretty sure everybody got sent an email for the school sent colorism in the Latinx community. Basically, I saw that everybody got an email about a Zoom call basically describing racism in certain parts of communities. I think somewhere in South America I was part of it. So basically, there's probably gonna be something we're gonna be talking about next week. I think I'm gonna try to just include that somewhere. And make sure everybody you get your fall payment deadlines. If you don't have that, make sure you get your periods, drop add periods, and definitely check out the virtual hub. There's this new security system logging into the D2L that I was so confused about, the call and the password, and this guy helped me out so much. It's actually a new button on the Georgia Highlands website, so check it out. But other than that, did anybody else have anything to say?
Just a reminder, we are now going to be doing some closed captioning. So we'll be putting this up on YouTube. Bear with us as we figure out how to do that correctly. We will have that up.
That should be all from us. Just come check out our next episode on September the 2nd. And that's all I got to say. Anything else from you guys?
We will see you next time.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys. Bye-bye.